Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 10.
Breaking news tonight, a fatal crash happening just east of Lincoln tonight. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us and staying up late with us. I'm Rod Fowler. The crash taking place around 8 p.m. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson is live at the scene. Mackenzie, what can you tell us at this point?
Rod, I'm out here about 176th and Adams Streets, just northeast of Lincoln a little ways. And as you can see behind me, there's a sheriff's deputy's vehicle up there, but we can't get any closer, unfortunately, to the crash at this time to show you what's going on. Now, what deputies do tell us is that somebody actually called in and reported this crash around 8 p.m. after driving by and seeing a pickup flipped upside down on its rooftop. Now, deputies say by the time they arrived, CPR was already in progress on the driver of that pickup. The driver was then taken to a local hospital where they were pronounced dead. Investigators determined that the pickup was going west on Adams Street and went into a ditch. Now, Lancaster County Sheriff's Sergeant tells us that there was some evidence of alcohol use, but at this time, there's not a lot that can be confirmed. We are waiting to hear more information. The Sheriff's Office says they're going to be sending out some more information on this later tonight, so we're going to be keeping you updated as well as we can. I would make sure you check our website, klkntv.com, for the latest throughout the night. For now, I'm going to send it back to you, Rod. Mackenzie Johnson reporting in Lancaster County.
All right, Mackenzie, thank you for the live report. Breaking news tonight on a national level. A government shutdown may be prevented with just minutes to spare.
On this vote, the yeas are 366, the nays 34, one member voting present, 2/3 being in the affirmative. The rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Now, that was the U.S. House earlier tonight passing it. Now it's up to the Senate to clear it. Their deadline is 11 p.m. Central Time. Here's a live look at Capitol Hill where it's all going down. A vote is expected any minute. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says senators have come to an agreement and the bill will be passed before the deadline. House Speaker Mike Johnson says this is the ideal outcome for the situation.
We are excited about this outcome tonight. We're grateful that everyone stood together to do the right thing. And having gotten this done now as the last order of business for the year, we are set up for a big and important new start in January.
The Speaker said he was in constant contact with President-elect Trump before the House vote and thinks he'll also be pleased with this outcome. Nebraska District 1 Representative Mike Flood says in part, today's vote to keep Washington working for the people is a win for Nebraska's hardworking families, farmers, and communities. Don Bacon, who represents the 2nd District, says, quote, we are providing critical relief to natural disaster victims and farmers. There is no room for a Christmas shutdown. In other news now tonight, only on 8, a young girl is waiting for a call that could change her life. The 11-year-old from Martell is waiting for a liver transplant. And in the meantime, people from all over the country are helping support her and her family. Our Mackenzie Johnson has that story.
This is Jessie Roush, a 6th grader who goes to Crete. Up until a couple of months ago, she seemed pretty healthy, but one doctor's appointment changed her life.
We found out that there was a lot of other things that were going on, and they were very concerned about her liver because it wasn't showing good functionality.
After a lot of testing, the Roush family found out she has autoimmune hepatitis, which is a rare condition where the body attacks the liver. Then a few weeks later, Jessie was rushed to Children's Nebraska Hospital in Omaha. Doctors finding that the young girl had internal bleeding and diagnosing her with yet another rare condition that affects her bile ducts in and around her liver. Jessie now needs a new liver.
When they told us she had to have a transplant, a lot of risk and a lot of worry.
Jessie spent a couple weeks in the hospital, and she says there were times when it got overwhelming.
And I just remember, like, when we got through, like, 10 pokes or something, like, I was just like, I can't do it anymore. And, like, Mom was just saying, if you don't do this, you will die. Like,
it was bad. It was a really bad situation.
But through it all, Jessie is keeping her spirits high, and her humor has not gone away. She's especially happy to be home in time for the holidays.
Yes, we had macaroni lasagna the very night we came back.
She was excited to have her favorite meals.
Julia is being tested to see if she can donate part of her own liver to her daughter. But for now, Jessie just has to wait for the call to tell her when a liver is ready.
Whenever my mom gets a phone call, then she is like, yes, yes. I'm like,
all of these procedures have not been cheap, and with a possible transplant coming up, the expenses are adding up. The Roush family says they were not approved for financial aid through the hospital, but the one bright spot has been the community. Almost $40,000 has been raised for the family.
Especially right now when, times are tight. It's so humbling because it's just something we didn't expect. We were fully prepared to bite it down and figure things out, but it's been such a blessing to see other people help us, people we don't even know.
it was just so great to know that people care.
Reporting in Martell, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
And we thank the family for talking. Jesse, if you're watching, you're one strong young lady, and we're all rooting for you. Let's check in with Rusty now. Take a look at these photos sent in to our Now Local News app by citizen journalist Jeanette of tonight's beautiful sunset. Oh, my goodness. We want to see your sunsets. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to download the Now Local News app. Rusty could stare at that all night long. Here's a live look outside now in Lincoln, where it did cool down quite a bit today, but at least the wind let up. Rusty, can we expect it to warm back up at all?
Yeah, the good news is we're slowly but surely going to get back to normal tomorrow and then warm up even more. Now, if you're hoping for a white Christmas, I've got some bad news for you. But if you're looking for pleasant travel conditions, I've got some really good news for you. 48th and Cornhusker Highway, ABC Seamless, very quiet out there, not expecting anything tonight at all. In fact, just a couple of clouds here and there, maybe a stray snowflake, especially to the north. Temperature-wise, we're starting to warm up a little bit. We dropped down to around 16. Now we're at 18 in Lincoln, but down to 11 in Columbus, 17 in Beatrice and Hebron. Zero wind. I mean, it's less than 10 miles per hour for everybody. Wind chill in the teens and stormcast. Notice those temperatures don't really go anywhere. I think we're going to hover about where we're at right now, between 10 and 20 degrees, and then we'll try to warm up. At least the western half of the state warms up. Eastern half back to around normal, but we all warm up on Sunday. We'll take a look at that very mild forecast in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. New attendant Lincoln man sentenced for the death of an unborn baby. 60-year-old Lionel Brown hit a car with a pregnant passenger inside, and the baby died shortly after. Today, he was sentenced to 1 year behind bars for motor vehicle homicide. That's the most he can get for a Class 1 misdemeanor. Brown was on parole at the time of the crash for first-degree sexual assault. A former sergeant with the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office is set to go on trial again. Ryan Schumacher is accused of failing to serve misdemeanor warrants to two people. He told them to pay their fines, and then he let them go. He was then later fired. Jurors couldn't reach a verdict in his first trial earlier this month. His new trial is set for February 27th. To some developing news now, at least two are dead after a deadly attack in Germany. It happened at a bustling Christmas market where authorities say a car plowed into the crowd. Local authorities say at least 68 people were injured and an adult and toddler were killed. Here's a live look at the scene near Berlin. Officers quickly arrested the 50-year-old driver from Saudi Arabia who has been living in Germany since 2006. The White House is keeping a close eye on the situation.
Whether or not that person is cooperating with authorities is really the big question right now. I know it seems crazy that anyone would cooperate in these circumstances, but very often terrorists or extremists who are arrested after participating in an act like that want to talk to law enforcement.
Police previously blocked off an area around the suspect's vehicle on fears an explosive device was inside. A device was not found. And when we come back tonight, here's something you don't see every day. A garbage truck goes up in flames. How it's affecting a community near Lincoln.
The wind did die down today, but the temperature also kind of died down. It was a chilly one, but we are going to slowly warm up as we head through the weekend. That forecast when we come back.
New at 10, a garbage truck fire puts a local company in a bind. A Seward County waste company is now down a truck. Channel 8's Emma Norwood gives us the details of the impact on trash service and what you should know before you throw.
Based in Seward County, Belcon Refuse offers a wide range of services from recycling to yard waste.
We care about our customers. We don't look at customers as a number on a piece of paper. We look at customers as face-to-face.
But the last couple of weeks have been tight, with one of their trucks out of commission. At the beginning of this month, a fire breaking out inside the truck, leaving it useless until it is repaired. Owners Michael and Abby Fulner aren't sure what sparked the fire, but they say somebody threw away something they shouldn't have. Abby says some customers may see a delay in pickup times, but the company is working hard to remedy the situation.
We've had to be late with a couple routes, but our customers are so easy to work with and they're understanding, and we feel like we're on track. We had an additional truck for backup.
But Belcon says this is a reminder about the do's and don'ts of what to put in the trash.
If it's something that you believe is going to catch fire, is the biggest thing. If there's a hot cigarette butt, if there's coals, there's car battery, ashes.
Other forbidden items might not seem so obvious, like wet paint containers. Hazardous items are accepted at drop-off areas provided by your local county offices. If you are unsure about whether something is hazardous, it's best to do some research. Belcon asks you to contact them before throwing away uncertain items. Reporting in Milford, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
And now to some new details and some new heights for the Mega Millions drawing. The jackpot at $862 million, the seventh largest Mega Millions jackpot in history. If you decide to take the cash option, you'll get a measly $392 million, and that's before taxes. The drawing was held at 10 o'clock tonight, so check your tickets if you have them handy. Here we go. The winning numbers tonight were 2, 20, 51, 56, 67, and 19. Again, 2, 20, 51, 56, 67, and 19. There you go, Rusty.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
You know, if I won, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there'd be signs. Like my clicker, pure gold. Temperatures, high. These are high temperatures today. I know. 27 degrees, which, you know, I mean, it could be worse, definitely. And it was worse in O'Neill at 23, 25 Grand Island. But the further west you went, warmer air. That warmer air is going to spread a little further east as we head through the next 24 hours, and then a little further east after that. So we just have to be patient. We'll warm up as we head through the weekend. Good looking. I'm going to get out of the way of this one. That's a good looking shot. Barry Lockham, still Memorial Stadium lit up there. Temperatures 18 in Lincoln, 11 in Columbus, 15 in O'Neill, 18 in Valentine, 16 in Ogallala. It's a little cooler than it was yesterday, or a little warmer. Now this warmer air is going to start to spread east as we head through the next couple of days. But right now it's just cold. At least there's no or very little wind. It's out of the northeast at 5 to 10. Satellite radar, not much to talk about. It looks like maybe a sprinkle or two, but when it's kind of cold like this, sometimes any moisture will kind of get turned into a flake or two, and it'll show up on radar, but really nothing's making it to the ground. Stormcast is going to confirm that. A lot of sunshine as we wake up tomorrow morning, maybe a few clouds floating by in the afternoon, and then more clear skies. Really, folks, it's just, this is a very dry weather pattern that we're in, and it's going to mean zero snow for Christmas. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but I might as well break it to you now. The better chance, if you want to see snow, the snow depth potential, where there will be snow on the ground for Christmas morning, way up to the north. You're talking northern Iowa is about as close as it gets to us, or down towards Denver, and really that's in the Rocky Mountains. I mean, look at all of that non-snow. Forecast for tonight, temperatures, we've probably bottomed out. We maybe 15 or 14 degrees, but I think we'll start to warm up a little bit as we head through the overnight, but I don't think we're going to warm up too much tomorrow. Now, if you go further west, you're going to be talking about 50s and 60s, the western half of the state, but the eastern half of the state, 30s and 40s, which is normal. This is a normal start to winter. By the way, tomorrow's the first day of winter. And 52 and 50. Mother Nature messes with us, loves to make my job hard. 52 degrees on Sunday, 50 on Monday, middle 40s for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which is pretty darn warm as it is. And then a decent chance for rain on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, something we'll be watching. And look at all of those 50s for the second half of next week. So Rod, no real Arctic outbreaks in the near future.
All right. Thank you, Rusty. Happening now, the Nebraska State Patrol has a new set of recruits. Family, friends, and state officials gathered to celebrate the momentous occasion for the patrol's 70th recruit class, but it took a lot of hard work and long hours to get those badges on their uniforms.
State Patrol, make yourself known!
Here's just a look at some of the intense training the recruits went through. They spent long days learning important skills in high-pressure situations. Now, 6 months after the recruits arrived in Grand Island for training, a day of celebration. A big entrance in the state capitol rotunda for the patrol's new batch of recruits. Secretary of State Bob Ebnen was put in charge of swearing in the new troopers.
I so swear. Congratulations, troopers of the Nebraska State Patrol.
Kelsey Colgrove, one of the new troopers from Spearfish, South Dakota, says she's already anticipating her first day on the job.
I feel just really excited to get to work. I know we get a couple weeks off, but I'm excited to get to work, and I just feel like there's a weight lifted off just from all the stress of camps.
Another trooper, Zachariah Johnson from Grand Island, detailed the hard work it takes to become a part of the patrol.
There's a lot of academics, a lot of classroom work. We'd learn about something, and then all of a sudden we'd be demonstrating those skills out on the range, or we'd be doing traffic stops, mock traffic stops after being explained how it works. A lot of time in the classroom, and then going out and doing some hands-on.
Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers was one of the many state officials to congratulate the troopers. He stressed the importance of the role these new patrol members have in the community.
And there's going to be a whole generation of little boys and girls who are going to look up to you. And you know what they're going to say? They're going to go to their moms and their dads and they're going to say, you know what? I want to be what they are. I want to be a trooper.
The new troopers have some time off now before they get started. They'll begin serving in communities all across the state of Nebraska. New at 10, Senator Ricketts meeting with a Trump cabinet pick. He met with U.S. Secretary of the Army pick, Dan Driscoll. Driscoll previously served in the U.S. military in Iraq as a scout platoon leader. Ricketts says he shared his ideas with him on how to streamline the Army's processes to ensure our war fighters have what they need. Coming up in sports, checking in with Husker football as they are just over a week away from their first bowl game in 8 years, and reflecting on last night's Husker loss versus Penn State and highlighting this year's senior class. Stay with us.
from the Channel 8 Sports Zone, sponsored by Greens Furnace and Plumbing. Here's Channel 8 News Sports with sports anchor Jake Homan. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
And welcome into your Sports Zone. With a crushing defeat for the Husker volleyball team last night, all eyes are now on the Husker football team as they approach next weekend's bowl game in New York. The Huskers are just over a week away before they officially take the big stage at Yankee Stadium for this year's Pinstripe Bowl versus Boston College. Matt Rule and company will leave for New York actually starting next week, where they have a few items on the bucket list they'll be checking out, including practicing at the New York Giants football facilities and also spending Christmas Day at Central Park. But when it comes to game time, head coach Matt Rule still means business.